Good evening, gentlemen. Welcome to Yeetus News. There's plenty that I would like to talk about today when it comes to the war on freedom of speech. Unfortunately, I got some bad news. Hammerhand just sent me a message. He is currently still on the road, so there's a good chance he may not make it to the stream. But don't worry, there will be a part two on this because there's a lot to uncover. There is a lot to uncover, especially when it comes to the Elon Musk Twitter files. Okay. But I want to start from the beginning on how all of this unfolded in the first place. People literally called men like us or people like us conspiracy theorists for saying that the government is behind the censorship on social media platforms. They call us crazy. They call us nuts. We don't know what we're talking about. Oh, now look at them now. Look at them now. Multiple social media platforms just admitted or just got exposed of the government having a hand in censorship and or meddling with very important affairs like the election. Oh yeah, it's about to get real. It's about to get real. But before we begin, I'm going to add the one, the only. Grey Ghost, what's going on, man?
Good evening, gentlemen. Ooh, we got spicy stuff.
How's life for you so far today?
Bit of a full day.
Same here. Very busy day today, but I'm lucky that I'm able to come here and speak on this craziness because there's a lot that needs to be uncovered, right? We pretty much knew all along, right? People that actually thinks outside of their own bubble that the freedom of speech thing, especially on social media platforms, is bullshit. And Elon Musk, mainly, especially the last couple of days, exposed like, yeah, all this shit that the conservative ideals or conservative views has been heavily censored. And it's been proven that President Trump didn't do anything wrong to get banned in the first place. Oh yeah, we about to get into it, gentlemen. What do you have to say about that, Gray?
That's the thing. I'd honestly go and say that many of these social media sites, they're not platforms. They're publishers. If they are the ones deciding what is and is not allowed beyond the scope of the law, then they are publishers.
I completely agree with that. I agree with that 1,000,000%, man. Because the things that has been unraveled for the last couple weeks is like, wow. I shouldn't be surprised, but at the same time, I was definitely surprised at the information.
Oh, and his strategy for this is actually excellent too. Like I've overheard some people calling Elon Musk stupid. It's like, if he's stupid and you're dumber than him, then what the hell does that make you?
Things that we can't say on YouTube because we'll get censored.
That is true.
But I do want to. Oh, okay. Before we get into the meats and potatoes, if you want to support your boy, link on top of the chat. Cash App / Yeetus. Any donations appreciated. And once again, it's all towards to the investment of the channels. Okay. Any donation is appreciated. Thank you very much. All right,
you got a bunch of people. You got a bunch of people in chat who want to show your links too. So I want to pass some wrenches out.
I thought Evil Hermit already has a wrench.
Yeah, he does, but SCE doesn't. D-Man doesn't.
Oh damn. Okay, I didn't know that. Oh, okay. I'll get to it in a bit, y'all. I'll get to it in a bit. But we're definitely going to start on the first topic. I'm going to go ahead and file share this bad boy. All right. Make sure I'm not looking like a freaking dummy. Let me look. Share screen. Blah, blah, blah. See, here's the first indication of, something ain't right. Put a 1 in the chat if you can see that. I repeat, put a 1 in the chat if you can see it.
Yeah, they can see it. I got YouTube pulled up.
Okay, too easy. All right, I'm going to play this right now. If you can't hear it, let me know, but I'm going to play this video.
You guys handle things when they're a big news item that's controversial. Like there was a lot of attention on Twitter during the election because of the Hunter Biden laptop story. The New York
we
Post.
have that too.
Yeah, so you guys censored that as well?
So we took a different path than Twitter. I mean, basically, the background here is the FBI, I think, basically came to us.
Oh, you guys heard it. You heard it. You heard it. FBI went to Facebook. Just saying. Like, how much proof do you need at that point? But we will continue. We will continue this video. But hey, out of the horse's mouth, the CEO of the company said, hey, 3-letter agency came to my doorstep about this laptop situation. Let's go ahead and continue this shit.
Some folks on our team, it was like, hey, just so you know, like you should be on high alert. We thought that there was a lot of Russian propaganda in the 2016 election. We have it on notice that basically there's about to be some kind of dump of that's similar to that. So just be vigilant. So our protocol is different from Twitter's. What Twitter did is they said you can't share this at all. We didn't do that. If something is reported to us as potentially misinformation, important misinformation, we also have this third-party fact-checking program.
Okay, so this fact-checking shit pisses me off with a passion. It pisses me off so much. What about you, Gray?
That's the thing. It's another one of those nice new words like, oh, fact checking. Does that mean, like, does it say, like, does it mean what it says they mean? Is someone here's like, oh, a fact checker. That is someone who checks for facts to make sure that something is factual. What's the thing? Fact checker is just a new word for censor.
Pretty much. And my biggest question is, who's fact checking the fact checkers? That's my biggest rebuttal. Who are fact checking the fact checkers? How are they the final decision on whether what you're saying is misinformation or not? That's what pisses me off. All right, okay. Cesspool says, play that clip again, but slower to really drive home the lies. Oh, no. Dude, I don't think I can slow down or short, but we can definitely start over again. I can play it twice. Too easy. But do you see where I'm coming from, Grey Ghost, when it comes to this fact-checking nonsense?
Oh, yeah. No, they're absolutely, like, using, like, double speak and new speak to just give censorship a nice friendly face.
Pretty much. And oh my god, it pissed me off so much back in 2020. That was out of control. You guys already know what happened in 2020. But wow, so much. Oh, this was fact checked. This was fact checked. Oh, this is false. That is false. He doesn't know what he's talking about. But now this year, since everything got revealed that everything was a fucking lie, how much proof do you need?
Actually, funny thing. A while back, Salty did a video on Hokey Poke stuff. And well, he mentioned how it was all climate change related, because climate change is what's causing a whole bunch of the sudden adult death syndrome, apparently. And rather than the warning for Pokey Poke coming up, instead it was a fact check on climate change that popped up underneath his video.
I'm so done, bro. I'm so done with these. I'm sorry. It's just, at least me as an American. How do I say? If we're out in public, if you're just walking around in public or whatever, I don't care what you say, right? But as long as you able to deal with the consequences behind it. What I mean by that is, if you say something derogatory, if you say something disrespectful, okay, you might going to have to deal with people that will see it as disrespectful. But if you tell them the truth, there should be no type of repercussions for that. There shouldn't be. But look at what's going on today. If you don't make somebody feel good, you're wrong. So that's the biggest issue we have these days. It's not about what you say, it's how you say it these days.
Yeah, that's something that really gets me. Like people saying, like, well, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. No. What I say is the substance of it. If I'm going to say something that implies bodily harm towards you, would you prefer that I say it in a sweet, kindly voice with a bright smile on my face? Like, does that make it better? Does that make it less valid of a problem to you?
You're still gonna call me wrong. Like, so what's the point? What's the point of me sweetening up or buttering up the words and shit, you know?
Like, the only reason we dance around all the topics here is because, well, Susan's algorithm is listening to everything that we say.
That is true. That's the only reason.
Like,
And my biggest audience is here, so until I start getting an audience in alt tech, I'm stuck here for a bit. But Cesspool, I didn't forget what you said. I'm gonna play the clip one more time, just one time, because I really do. This is one of the first instances, gentlemen, of social media platforms admitting that the government infiltrated these massive social media platforms in order to control, how do you say? Yeah, control the information that's going in and out. So let me play it one more time.
How do you guys handle things when they're a big news item that's controversial? Like there was a lot of attention on Twitter during the election because of the Hunter Biden laptop story. The New York
we
Post.
have that too.
Yeah, so you guys censored that as well?
So we took a different path than Twitter. I mean, basically, the background here is the FBI, I think, basically came to us.
I had to pause it because, once again, I don't want to get copyrighted, but you heard it once again. The FBI went to a massive social media platform such as Facebook to censor. Just think on that, gentlemen. I got a few more articles to go through, but you got to think on this one because this is one of the first instances of exposing the meddling of the government when it comes to free speech.
Some folks on our team, it was like, hey, just so you know, like you should be on high alert. We thought that there was a lot of Russian propaganda in the 2016 election. We have it on notice that basically there's about to be some kind of dump of that's similar to that. So just be vigilant. So our protocol is different from Twitter's. What Twitter did is they said you can't share this at all. We didn't do that. If something is reported to us as potentially misinformation, important misinformation, we also have third-party fact-checking.
I'm still very annoyed about the misinformation shit. Who are you to tell me that I am ultimately right or wrong, unless you bring in your own legitimate facts?
Well, that's the thing. They avoid responsibility here by saying, "Well, we're not the ones doing it. It's this third party that's doing it. These third party fact checkers we're bringing in."
Yeah, I'm like third party. So is the third party the FBI?
Yeah, note how they don't mention who this third party company is. Like it's this third party company is literally just a scapegoat. Like they are who Facebook throws in front of us to say, "Hey, don't blame us, blame them. They told us that we should censor you."
But I guarantee you, Facebook and any three-letter agency is the one that dictates this third-party fact-checking motherfuckers.
Well, that's the thing. Like
dictate.
regardless of who it is, Facebook hires these particular people. But it's the scapegoat first, so that if someone confronts them with like, "Oh, hey, you censored me for something that wasn't my fault. I'm going to go after you, Facebook." And Facebook would be like, "All right, well, here's the third party that flagged your stuff. Go deal with them." And honestly, I think it'd be brilliant if you sent it over to China and said that your third party fact checker is in China. Because then what the heck are you going to do? Sue someone in China under US law?
I agree. Good luck with that. Good luck with that shit. Where is this? Okay, here we go. Bam. Let's share this tab instead. Let's cross this bad boy out. Because, ads and shit, right?
I wouldn't know about that. I use Brave and have ad blockers.
Yeah, I don't have that. Ads is very annoying, but I'll get through it. All right, let's see if I can expand this. But, gentlemen, that is one of the first instances. You need to understand, they're freaking out right now. The powers to be, especially the ones that controls the big news media, they're not in a good mood because of Elon Musk. We will get to that point later on in the stream.
So stay tuned.
Yeah, because Elon is definitely making enemies. I'm gonna let you know right now. Let's go ahead. All right. So this is from the Daily Post, and once again, this is just general knowledge. Don't take it with a grain of salt because you already know how big news media is. But the title says Elon Musk says Trump didn't violate Twitter rules. The truth is more complicated. Bullshit. Trump did not violate any Twitter rules. That's been proven. Especially with the Twitter files that's been released yesterday and today. He did not violate anything. But let's read. We'll start from the beginning. Let's see if I can. No, blah. Okay, here we go. This one right here. Nope. Shit. Okay. The documents shared by journalist Bari Weiss, if I said it right, as the
Probably Weiss.
Weiss? Okay.
Weiss. I believe Weiss is in German for white,
Okay, I need to work on my German then. Weiss, as the latest installment of the so-called Twitter files, appeared to show that there was at least some debate among various employees about whether Trump's final tweets violated the social network's policies prohibiting inciting violence. But they stopped short of showing that Twitter ignored its own rules in implementing the ban. I'm not surprised. I just had to put emphasis on that. Blah, blah, blah. Hold up. Let's go ahead and just skim through this real quick. Twitter's new owner, Elon Musk, cheered and promoted the release of the internal company documents on Monday and attempted to paint the former Twitter's leadership decision as politically motivated. In a tweet, he suggested that the former president didn't violate the rules and that the decision was made at the behest of activist employees. Yeah, I believe that 1,000,000%. There's no other way.
How could you be employed at Twitter prior to Musk and not be an activist?
What'd you say?
Like, how could you be employed at Twitter prior to Musk joining and not be an activist?
I agree.
You basically had, unless you were shoved into a tiny box in the corner, interacted with absolutely no one, or worked entirely remotely and just submitted like code or documentation, like that's like being in the head of the freaking communist information control center and saying, well, I wasn't a communist, but I was just working for them and had to interact with them every day as they selectively purged anyone else who wasn't a communist.
It's the worst. At least 9% of the company before Musk was pro-socialist or communist.
Let me put it this way. Chances are, whatever percentage was at bare minimum the percentage of employees that he's fired.
Agreed. But we're going to read this one right quick, this paragraph. Weiss tweets suggest that in the wake of January 6th, there were Twitter employees both in favor of and against the idea of banning Trump. A screenshot of an internal Twitter Slack conversation where employees' names have been redacted shows one employee raising concerns about censorship, while other notes that we impose far stricter rules on effectively everyone else on the platform, which is bullshit. That's straight up bullshit.
Yeah, like there's a whole bunch of actual illegal material that, according to others of these Twitter files, was not being investigated at all.
None. And we will definitely get into that possibly in a part 2. And we have to literally tiptoe on the shit that Elon Musk released today.
Yeah. If you're curious, though, look up Elon Musk correcting Jack Dorsey in real time, and you'll understand why we'd have to dance around speaking on that topic.
Oh, man, it's once again, I shouldn't be surprised, but at the same time, it is like, wow, the amount of accounts that, how do I say it? The amount of creeper accounts that have to be terminated is astounding. It is wow.
Well, apparently, like even now, like they're still working on purging them to the point that they had to ban a particular tag, which I'm not sure we should say on here, but to those of you who are cultured, I'll spell it. LOLI. Yeah, you can't search that tag on Twitter anymore because it was used too much by creeps to pass around their material.
Agreed. And anybody in the chat, if you guys know, you know, a lot of creeper accounts had to be terminated for the last few days, and there's a lot. I think at least 44,000 got deleted so far. That's a lot of accounts. And I guarantee you, he barely scratched the surface. Guaranteed. Well, where was I? Hold up. Okay. It says, it's not clear from Weiss tweets whether the employees in this discussion were in any way involved in the decision-making process that led to Trump's ban. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Also, just want to address this in the chat. Mao, wait a minute. Yis's audience on alt tech is literally 3% of the YouTube audience. Okay, that's why we go on YouTube and we tiptoe around that kind of stuff rather than going on alt tech.
Well, if you guys subscribe to my alt tech account, I wouldn't be here. Shit, all 12,000 you motherfuckers. Like, goddamn. Don't get mad at me. Shit, start subbing more. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't be here often. You guys be able to hear the actual truth. But you already know Susan has a target on my back. She already sniped Ribby. What makes you think she won't do the same thing to me? Ribby had what's it called? Over 100K subs.
Yeah, where's his silver freaking play button, by the way?
Man. I don't know if he's salty about that or not, but if I was Ribby, I'd be salty as fuck.
Okay, no, like, dude, in the warband, having a number 2 on your channel is a badge of honor. It's like a Purple Heart at this point.
That is true. At this point, I should have like a number 6. I should have a number 6 right now. But at the end of the day, at this situation, when it comes to Trump and his ban, you guys heard about the Twitter safety team that happened today, right? I think it was a safety team. Safety or something. Elon Musk fired the entire, it was safety team or something. Let me know, Chad. I'm pretty sure it was the safety team that got literally eradicated.
Yeah,
Because-
like more. Yeah, they're community safety people. He fired at least 80% of them.
Yeah, because what's the point if you got a bunch of creeper profiles running them up?
Like that's the thing. So I think that the numbers were that there were 7,500 people on the Community Safety Council, and they've gotten better at deleting creeper accounts since firing over 80% of them. That's like firing 80% of your police force and crime going down. What conclusion could you make about that police force other than it is irredeemably corrupt? Yeet, you there? I ain't hearing you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
I said they're just chilling for a check. That's it. They're just chilling for a check. That's the only reason.
Well, no. They're not just chilling for a check.
What's up?
Because, no, here's the thing. If they were just chilling for a check, then the rate would not have changed. That would be like saying I fired the police force and the crime rate did not change, the criminals caught rate did not change at all. No, if you fire 80% of your cops and the amount of criminals caught goes up and the amount of crime goes down, the only conclusion you can make is that that 80% of your police force was actively supporting the criminals.
Well, yeah, when you put it that way, I agree. I didn't pay attention that much. I'm sipping on some good shit right now, so yeah, you're right. You're correct. Yeah, that's definitely what it is, and it happens often in the police force. So I definitely don't doubt that that's the exact same thing that happened in Twitter.
Like, because we see the kind of people who are cultivated, or were cultivated at least, on Twitter. Like, we see them, we know their audience. We know that a good chunk of them came from Tumblr and that cesspit, so we know.
Yeah, well, you remember the meme that we put up earlier with before Elon Musk and after Elon Musk?
Yeah. Well, exactly. Like, yeah, you freaking Japanese Twitter looking like freaking Southern California women's studies class before. And then after that, it's like, holy shit, everybody's Asian. Oh, yeah, it's the Japanese Twitter headquarters. This is what it's supposed to look like. Like, it wasn't even like it was a whole bunch of Japanese females running the thing. No. It was a bunch of white women running Japanese Twitter. Like, it's no wonder that Japanese Twitter has outright said, thank you, Elon Musk. Now we can actually talk about the things we want to talk about instead of having political crap force-fed to us.
Yeah, that's why it's just majority of Japanese men. Like, we saw a couple of women here and there on that photo, but majority of these men, right, agreed to stay behind and agreed to work the new hours that Elon Musk proposed. So,
Yeah. Imagine, seriously, like, it's Japan. Like, Japan, the country with the work ethic where people would literally rather die than quit their jobs. And they're congratulated for taking naps at their desk because it saves productivity instead of going home and resting. Like, a culture like that, Twitter was probably 90% of the laziest employees in all of Japan. And then Elon Musk came in and corrected that ratio to the standard.
I agree. They're lucky that they were on Dropkick. Like, they're lucky they're a private company. Because, yeah, that shit will not slide in Japan. I'm gonna let you know right now, chat. It would not slide. That they will see. Even if you think about sleep, they'll make sure you stay awake. Oh yeah, they'll make sure.
Well, no. That's the thing. I've legit seen articles a couple years back where an employee was like praised for sleeping at their desk because that meant they were working so hard that they'd exhaust themselves, and instead of going home to rest, they just took a nap at their desk so that when they woke up, they could continue working.
Oh yeah, that I completely agree. All I'm saying is the work ethic of Twitter before Elon Musk. Yeah, that shit would not it would not slide if it wasn't a private company. Like, if it was like actually some type of standard company of Japan or something.
No. Okay, no. Not even. Okay, private's one thing. I'd say it's more so they're lucky that they got all their money through bribes and activist donations rather than actually needing to turn a profit.
You mean Twitter as a whole or the individual employees?
Twitter as a whole, like, that's the thing. Okay, prior to Elon Musk coming in and saying if you want a blue check mark, it's $8, they were backroom deals for up to $50,000 to get blue check marks.
I heard of that. Okay.
Like,
Yeah,
that's the thing. Like, Twitter was funded by tech investments, government grants, and a whole lot of under-the-table deals. Like, they're not a profitable company. They were basically a non-profit organization with stock options. Then Musk comes in and he's been systematically dismantling the backroom deals, and so it's like he actually has to make the bloody thing profitable because it was not profitable before. It was losing money hand over fist, but that's because everyone was being paid up front, but all the income was under the table bullshit.
So that's why the desperate content creators or the celebrities had to pay the big bucks.
Well, that's the thing. And then, of course, you add in the bots for that, where like your account could be blown up to 6 figures, 7 figures worth of followers on Twitter, but most of them are bots and your actual interaction is garbage. Like, we see similar things on YouTube. People with massive sub counts, but little to no engagement.
I completely forgot about that, where Elon Musk exposed the bots. I forgot about that one.
Well, that came out like way back when he was when he was like considering purchasing the company. That
Right.
shit was coming out. So
Yeah, that's what I
this
forgot about.
Twitter files stuff, it's like we're getting some insider leaks right now, but Musk has been exposing it ever since he started considering purchasing Twitter.
Okay, so before we continue then, because I do have a few more articles of Elon Musk, catching Twitter in 4K on their bullshit. What do you think is the end goal of Elon Musk when it comes to Twitter? Do you believe that he is going to just run Twitter to the ground, or he's just doing this to give Twitter a clean slate? Or like, what do you think?
I'm firmly in the belief that Elon Musk purchase Twitter for money and power.
So he ain't trying to run Twitter to the ground. That's what you're saying.
Not well. Here's the thing. I think running Twitter into the ground is an option, but it's not his preferred option.
Okay. He would like to.
He would like to make it extremely profitable and use the massive network of people already on it. Like, think of it this way. Elon Musk effectively purchased a digital country with a shit ton of people in it, but it is also an active crime scene.
What the fuck?
Like, think about it. There's like,
I never. Oh, okay. You talking about Twitter? My bad.
Twitter. Again, like, it's all virtual and digital, but it has the population.
I was thinking about Meta. I was thinking about that Meta shit.
Yeah, it's not. That's the thing. Like, Meta's its own shit. But like, if you take out the virtual reality, like if you were able to personify Twitter, it would have the population probably the size of, at the very least, a small country. But it's also an active crime scene with a shit ton of crime actually happening. So Musk is going in there and he's basically saying, like, hey, I'm going to purchase this country and I'm going to make it profitable by having influence over all these people, and I can turn it into something better and more profitable and more useful for me. Like, that's like, I do not think for a second that Elon Musk is being altruistic. He probably thought, like, he might have seen this as just the weakest of the social media giants. I'm sure that, like, he would have bought YouTube or Facebook were they in a position to be purchased, but Twitter was the first one to start falling.
Well, he did say, yeah, and when he acquired Twitter, he did say eventually he wants to compete with, YouTube and stuff.
And that's why he bought it. Like, he bought it for the people, for the brand name. That's why I use the country analogy. He bought a country with all the people and all the infrastructure and all the code, because otherwise he'd have to try to build the entire thing from scratch like an alt tech platform. And we see how that gets fucked. Like, they can't crush Twitter the same way that they crush any of Twitter's competitors.
Agreed. The only person that's the only social media platform that's close, in my opinion, is Rumble. But even then, they have a long way to go before they even become agile.
Let me just pull this up here. So I'm going to do a little bit of research and get some numbers real quick.
Okay. So meanwhile, what you're saying is Elon Musk at this moment is just trying to take out the trash.
What's the thing? He has to deal with the active crime scene going on in there, because like, he can't just let it go, because otherwise it's going to be used against him.
I agree with that one. Yeah. Might as well. Yeah, I see what you're saying. It's like moving. Okay. For example, analogy chat is like moving to an apartment, and then the apartment is like completely fucked. And
like, there's it's like you buy an apartment and you find out that one room is being used to deal drugs, another room is passing around illicit imagery, it's being filmed in the third corner, you've got a whole bunch of people with masks making explosives in the other corner. Like, and it's like, yep, this is your problem now, and thanks for the money, bye.
Pretty much, yeah. That's that's a perfect analogy. Yeah, that's literally what it is, gentlemen. You literally have to deal with this. It's not an ordinary problem. It's a big problem that Elon Musk has to address.
Yeah.
Big
So
problem.
right now he's got to, or do
Hey, you there? Oh no. Hey, put a one in the chat if you can hear me. Put a one in the chat if you can hear me, chat.
order to present, like in order to control a large portion of the population.
Great.
Yep,
I did not
yep.
hear anything that you've said so far. I had to ask.
Yeah,
the chat if you can hear me.
sorry, I glitched out. But like, there's a word for when a private company and a government collude to control the population. Fascism.
You're right. I should have thought about that. God damn it.
So that's it. You have, like, Musk inherited all of this when he purchased Twitter, all that baggage. So he's got to clean all that crap out. Like, take out all the corrupt police force that are done. Dude even had to clean out the goddamn. He had to take out the people who take out the trash because the janitors were freaking unionizing to screw with him. So he just fired the entire lot of them and was like, okay, fuck it, I'll purchase more. There's no shortage of people who are willing to work janitorial duty at Twitter and get paid the likely pretty damn good amount of money for doing so.
Sidetracking. I did not know in certain areas janitors earn six figures. Like that was news to me. I was like, wow. Like I thought that they earn like okay money, like 50,000, or 60,000. There's areas where janitors they make over six figures. I'm like, oh, okay, damn. Like, get that money. Get that money. I got all respect for janitors, right? Because I was taught when I was young, you would treat the CEO the same way you would treat a janitor. Like, there's no difference to me, in my opinion. In the sense of, how do you say? I'm not going to take away your dignity just because you're mopping the floors and shit. That's a side conversation. I just had to say that. So, but I agree with the IY fan who says it's like the apartment is filled with roaches and bed bugs, going to have to exterminate carefully to get rid of them all, or they'll just keep coming back. I agree.
Yeah. Also, SCE's apparently sent you a clip, and he's not going to stop bugging you until you watch it.
I saw your clip, Cesspool, and that is not for YouTube, or at least not for my channel.
That's an Odyssey Rumble exclusive, huh?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Like,
sorry, SCE, but like knowing the kind of stuff that you've got kicking around, yeah, playing that stuff on stream is going to draw the eye and death beam of Susan immediately.
I'm not saying that you're wrong, Cesspool. I'm not saying that.
No, that's the problem. If he was wrong, we could probably play it.
Right. Like, but he's definitely right, and that's the. What you mean? Hold up.
Cesspool. It's off YouTube. This stream is not, so we can't play an off YouTube thing while on stream.
Right. Actually, I don't know if a stream will work on Odyssey, but if it does.
Oh yeah. No, I multi-stream my stuff to Odyssey. You can do it through Streamlabs.
Okay, too easy then. I'll see if I can do a stream on Odyssey this week, because I do gotta test it anyway. If I can do a stream this week, I will definitely check out your information. I will definitely speak on that.
Cesspool, just because someone has uploaded it to YouTube doesn't mean we can put it on YouTube. I guarantee you, there is naked yoga on YouTube. Does that mean we can play a clip of naked yoga on YouTube right now and not get demonetized / banned? No.
Yeah, Susan hates us regardless. Like, unfortunately, the rules of this YouTube game is some people they got special privileges, and other people they
Yeah, everyone is equal on YouTube, but some users are more equal than others.
because once again, random statement. Ethan Klein, he said multiple things that he should have been permanently banned off of YouTube, but he's still here. He's still here. Imagine for what I said, the same thing of what Ethan Klein said for the last few weeks. He said some very fucked up shit. If you don't believe me, look it up. Look it up. I'm not going to say it, but look it up, chat. He said some fucked up shit where he should have been permanently banned. If I said the same thing, you would never hear from me again.
Yeah, involving the device that you bake bread with.
I will literally have people in suits at my door. Like, literally. Like, he says some fucked up shit. And unfortunately, I can't repeat it. Unfortunately, But when it comes to Elon Musk, right? He is taking a big risk of doing all this to the point where he mentioned himself on multiple occasions, but most recently, that he is in high alert that there's a big probability that he might get assassinated. Like, you heard about that, or?
Because I think I caught it through. Yeah, I caught it in the periphery, and yeah, it's entirely reasonable. Like, I think that like when you're in Musk's position, I can understand having a chauffeur because you want someone else to turn on the vehicle and practice driving it before you get inside it.
Just in case there's no bomb or anything.
Or, maybe someone cuts the brake lines.
That too, yeah. But he is like, that's why I like, don't get me wrong, right? Elon Musk isn't the overall savior of the people, right? Because I see billionaires, I see most of them the same. 99% of billionaires, they're the same to me, right? I gotta see more of what Elon Musk can do.
Well, that's the thing. Like, again, trust Elon Musk to be out for Elon Musk. If it is in the self-interest of Elon Musk, he will do it. If it is not in the interest of Elon Musk, he's unlikely to do it.
But regardless, at the end of the day, I still have respect of what he's doing right now, because
he's pissing off. He's pissing off people we hate.
Oh, definitely, and I guarantee you, anybody that's in his position won't even try to expose anybody. They'll just act like nothing's happening. So the fact that, and we knew in the first place, especially when the first exposure of what Twitter's been doing behind closed doors, he has a target on his back, a big target on his back.
But here's kind of the genius thing, though. Like, if he just dumped all this information on Twitter at once, it would get buried by the thing that comes out tomorrow and the week after, for one. And as soon as that happens, I guess Elon Musk needs to keep eyes on him at all times, because as long as he's in the public spotlight, it's a lot harder to wipe him out without making everything that much more credible.
Agreed, because at the same time, if he was wiped out, right, like hypothetically, allegedly, he will be a fucking martyr like a motherfucker. So that's why, because once again, if it was easy for somebody to, yeet him, it would have happened already. But
like, keep in mind, to get Epstein, they had to get him in prison first.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. And they definitely don't like us talking about that shit, right, chat? Just imagine what's going to happen to his assistant, right? Is she dead yet? I don't think she is. But that's why I say, gentlemen, at the end of the day, I don't care what you feel about Elon Musk. whether you hate him, whether you love him, whether you like whatever about him, he's doing a lot of shit that 99.99999% of us would not dare to do in this position. And he's definitely, in my opinion, risking his life. So when people say that, oh, there's no war on freedom of speech, there's no war on speech, there is a clear war on freedom of speech. And right now, I'm telling you, Elon Musk is on the forefront.
Well, and here's kind of the thing. Like, I think that there's another motivation for why he's doing this, and it's brilliant. He's completely rebranded himself. Think about this.
That is true.
Who was Elon Musk prior to him buying Twitter?
He pretty much was a real life Tony Stark, pretty much.
No. Think about it. When you hear Elon Musk, what title do you associate with him? What brand do you associate him with?
Hey, you still here?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, my shit, like, it got weird.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like, when you think Elon, okay, really, you think SpaceX?
Well, SpaceX, Tesla,
Tesla,
all that other stuff.
That's the thing. Like, what has Elon done with SpaceX recently at all?
Nothing much. It's just routine.
Absolutely nothing. Yes, like maybe he's done something, but nothing prominent. Tesla, electric vehicles. Are electric vehicles doing great in the media right now?
I will say yes. I
would say no. Like, they're being made a mockery of, especially. Oh, yeah, no, they're getting completely bombed because, winter's here. Electric vehicle, like, people aren't allowed to charge their own electric vehicles in California anymore due to power shortages. Europe's going through major power shortages right now due to all the electricity getting cut off. So electric vehicles, like, they are on the decline. Electric vehicles are not popular right now.
Oh, I didn't know anything about that, but I do know about Sleepy Joe fucking everything up in the first place.
Yeah, but that's the thing. But like, recently, electric vehicles have been on the sharp decline, and at that moment when Tesla, which he makes most of his consumer money from, when the market value of electric vehicles is about to tank, Elon Musk buys Twitter and now makes Twitter the primary focus. That whenever someone hears Elon Musk, they don't think Tesla, they don't electric vehicles, they don't think SpaceX, which hasn't done anything significant in years. They think Twitter.
So what you're saying is he's playing 4D chess at this moment.
Exactly. He sees the writing on the wall for Tesla because he's not going to be making money through them, and has instead decided to rebrand himself as the head of Twitter, as a social media head equivalent to Zuckerberg, in order to maintain public relevance.
Well, speaking about... Wait, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Speaking about that, I saw a quick video on YouTube, which I'm like, right? I'm contemplating. This happened last week. Oh, no, 2 weeks ago. You know about the Tesla SUV looking thing? Where he threw a baseball? He threw a baseball.
The truck, yeah. The truck in massive air quotes.
Oh, a truck. People are saying that and I believe it, said that he did it on purpose. Everything was on purpose.
Oh, more than likely. I'd absolutely believe that he did that just for the memes. Because you look at the Tesla truck, like, it is not like, no one who drives an actual fucking truck and needs an actual fucking truck would buy a Tesla truck. It is the Hummer of Tesla.
But I'm gonna keep it real. If I had enough money, I honestly would have. Yeah, I would have got one of those. Not gonna lie. I'm gonna keep it real. Like,
really.
No, if you were rich, you're like I'm the only one that got it type shit. I'm like where's your Tesla?
Okay, look, like if you're okay, let me this way. If you're on the scale of rich, where you need to spend six figures just as a tax write-off to build another garage for your second cottage, okay, then maybe I believe that you've got enough money to blow on what is essentially a giant model car that you are going to drive precisely once into your showroom and then never touch again. Okay. Then, like, if you're talking like if you have that much money where you literally need to build a brand new house just so that the government doesn't take away all your money in taxes, okay. Then I'll believe that you get a fucking Tesla truck. But that is like hundreds of millions of dollars. The amount of shit that you'd buy first. I honestly, sincerely believe that you would purchase a literal tank before you'd buy a Tesla truck.
Okay, you know me too well then. Okay, yeah, you're right. You're right. I would literally buy a tank, and I was just thinking about the number too. I said, at least 100 million plus, like at least 100 million to even think about that.
Yeah, like I can see you like literally digging up and hand restoring a tank before you buy a Tesla truck.
Well, at the end of the day, though, when it comes to Elon Musk playing 4D chess, I see what you're saying. I never thought about it that way, about this current situation where he's like, I need to find another, how you say, passive income that'll give me a good profit because of the policies that's going on and the political turmoil when it comes to climate change and all that stuff, where people got to switch from gas to electric, even though electric cars are expensive enough in the first place, so a lot of people can't even afford it. It's a lot of things that go into play, but I see what you're saying, that Elon Musk has a lot of foresight when it comes to this situation.
Yeah, he's not a stupid man, not by a long shot. But the other thing is, this is a tech company, and we're also at a time where tech companies are losing their investors because so many of them have only been able to do what they've been doing because of speculative investment. And that money is drying up now as everyone starts to tighten their pockets. So we're seeing social media sites, like news sites, like they're getting bought out day after day. Like all sorts of media sites are getting swallowed up by larger entities and conglomerates, or they're just outright collapsing. Like I'm pretty sure that BuzzFeed is gone right now. Like Kotaku, I think.
I haven't heard from them in years.
Yeah, like Kotaku, I think they've been bought out. Anime News Network, I know, got bought out. Disney's collapsing. Streaming is collapsing.
Hollywood.
Like that's the thing. Like all of these media sites that are basically luxury goods, they're falling apart. And so now tech investment is dropping. And yet, in the face of all that,
right,
Elon Musk buys Twitter, and it has remained at the top of the news cycle for, God, wait, is it actually months now, or at the very least weeks? Twitter has been on the tip of everyone's tongue for weeks.
I'll say months. Because especially when Elon Musk said he was going to buy it, yeah, a lot of people are talking about it.
Well, that's the thing. So like, Elon Musk has remained with himself and Twitter at the top of the news cycle for months. So if you have some people who are like, well, my tech investments aren't paying off, so I've withdrawn a whole bunch of cash. Now I have a whole bunch of money to invest in tech. Who do I invest it in? Oh, hey, maybe I'll invest it in this new Twitter that has just been purchased by a very successful businessman who's turning it around, and the user count has never been higher.
Well, that's because social media is never going to go away. It's only going to get more popular in the future. Like I already predicted, social media is going to skyrocket. They-
Oh,
if-
also at the point where everyone is about to, maybe get locked down again, and so their social connections limited to online space. At the very least,
already
at the very
happening I don't think you know, but I think it's already happening in LA. Chat, if you live in LA or you heard about LA, isn't LA shut down again? Or the COOF mandates is back again? The 2020 mandates is back again in LA? Let me know, chat. Because I think I scroll through that a little bit, but I'm pretty sure that they're trying to put that bullshit back on in California.
Yeah, wouldn't doubt it. But regardless, winter is here, and more people are going to be spending more time indoors, like not going out and doing all sorts of summer stuff. So, websites and social media, like this is the time when they are going to get the most traffic, far more than summer.
Okay. Here, quick research. Okay. There were talks about it in LA, but it hasn't gone yet. But they still plan on doing it. The mandate, the 2020 mandate. I'm not going to say the entire thing, but if it's already happening in New York, best believe it's going to happen in LA soon. It's going to happen all over again. Do you everybody in the chat right now, everybody that's listening to me right now, do you think that people are going to be listening to the mandates this time? I repeat, put a 1 in the chat if you believe people will listen. Put a 2 in the chat if people are going to be saying fuck you.
Well, funny thing is, what I've been hearing is that more parents are considering taking their kids out of school now because there's this like new respiratory virus going around through kids, especially around public schools. But the thing, it's going through schools. Like kids are catching it through other kids, and parents are tired of having to pull their kids out. So they're like, screw this. I'm just going to pull them out and have them do remote learning. Because I'm tired of them getting sick and getting everyone else in the family sick.
Shit, I don't think even just that. There's a bunch of fucking weirdos up in that school.
Well, yeah, but like this is like what normal people, the normies will talk about, not the based, not people who see beyond that kind of shit.
Well, we see a mixture of 1s and 2s, so I do see where you guys are coming from, because 1s, and like what Eva Herman said, the NPCs will listen. I will agree. Yes, they definitely will not question the powers to be. But number 2, I also do believe that there will be also a good amount of people saying, you know what, we caught on to your bullshit. We're not going to deal with your shit no more. Based on the information we learned recently about the 2020 situation, there's going to be a lot of people that will be like, fuck you.
Well, here's... This is where I'd go and say it matters exactly how they go about it. Because if they make...
Gray, continue. I'll be right back.
Seriously, if they make it entirely voluntary, that's one thing. I'm willing to bet that a bunch of people will just say, screw this. And I don't think that they're going to cancel Christmas over it. Like, they're going to realize that the pushback against canceling Christmas is going to be too severe. But if they start pulling this off early 2023, and they start providing regulations, like, say, you're not allowed to have X number of people in any location that serves alcohol, because the government is the one who controls the liquor license. So they can start that way and start taking down bars. They can start putting restrictions on how many people are allowed in at once. Like, there's plenty of things that the government can do. And then it's a question of how many businesses are willing to resist or eat the fines. And I'm willing to bet not. Well, it's kind of a wild card shot because a lot of mom and pop businesses were already annihilated by the last series of lockdowns.
Whoa.
And you know that the big box stores are going to get an exemption. So I think that if they do try to do anything, it's going to be like early January. Like early to mid-January, and then probably after a wave of everybody getting sick, and they're going to say, it's because everyone got together for the holidays, so now hospitals are overloaded and overcrowded. We got to lock shit down again. But not Walmart. Walmart gets to operate as normal, but everybody who isn't the size of Walmart, you've got to have restrictions on the number of people, or we'll send the Stasi to your place of business to fine you.
Well, let's just say back in 2020, I saw the damage that the 2020 situation caused. It's very haunting, gentlemen. Very haunting on the amount of businesses closed because of that situation. But hey, at least I'm able to go to Taco Bell, right? Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, right? I'm just saying, gentlemen. I don't know if this is a crash course to a recession or economic collapse, but just put two and two together. We're already not doing good in the first place when it comes to the economy. Now imagine if they do the 2020 situation all over again.
Well, here's the thing. Are they going to start handing out stimmy checks again?
No. I believe, actually, yes, but that's only going to delay the inevitable. It's the question. It's not about whether the stimmy checks are going to be good for the economy. Obviously, they're shit in the long run. It's more so about pacifying the people, because if you tell a whole bunch of people you're not allowed to work and they don't provide any supplementary income. I agree. I agree with that. You know, there's people that definitely, countless people, especially a couple of people that I knew, got kicked out of their homes or got kicked out of their apartments because of the 2020 situation. I'm not going to judge them, right? Because whatever happens, happens. I don't know their personal life.
Well, but keep in mind there was also rent moratoriums put around too, and a bunch of people just fucked off with their stimmy money instead of paying rent.
That I point and laugh for those people. Thank you for reminding me. Those type of people that actually have some type of grace period, and instead of using their stimmies for responsible things, responsible choices, they just fuck off and thought that was free money. I laugh in their faces if they're kicked out on the street, kicked out on the curb.
Well, Goblin Guy, here's the thing. This winter, people will be freezing and starving.
Hold up. This one, right?
Yeah.
Okay. People are not rebel unless they are freezing. People around the world. Whoa, not people around the world.
Europe right now, like they're freezing.
Yeah.
Europe is cold right now, and winter is just starting. They're low on energy, and they've been shutting down more sources of electricity than opening them up.
What was it now? Was it like 3 million, 2 million? That's out of power. Is it only going to get worse?
Yeah. So, like, Europe is absolutely going to freeze. And keep in mind, with no power, ironically, your freezer stops working.
You say ironically. Okay. But we talked about this months before. We talked about this. I remember we talked about this. There will be people that, you said this, there will be people that will be freezing and dying because of this situation. Like, not a lot of people, but a good amount will be freezing and dying.
It's primarily going to be the most vulnerable, like the elderly. Like, you know what? If you if you as a man in his fucking 20s to 50s, let's say, like if you're in a house that's, to pull from chat, -6 degrees Celsius. I'm assuming that was Celsius and not Fahrenheit because Europe. If it's -6 Fahrenheit, you got other problems. But -6 Celsius in the city overnight, like, you can get by. It's not pleasant, but you can probably get by. If you are 70 plus and it is -6 for days on end, that's probably a death sentence.
You're going to die. You're going to die. You know, and that's the unfortunate truth. Like, there's no hopeful factor. There's no happy ending. It's biology. It's science. It's not going to end well for you unless you're one of those few that can defy the statistics and shit. Because, you know, there's some humans that can defy the odds. But
Yeah, like, people are going to be like, they're going to be getting gas generators and putting them in their houses and dying of the carbon monoxide fumes. Happens every year in Canada, every time there's a power outage. Someone buys a gas powered generator and puts it someplace with shitty ventilation, like their garage, and they die.
I have a question for the chat. Everybody in the chat right now, put a 1 if you know how to create a fire. Put a 2 if you do not. Because whether you like it or not, that is still a crucial survival skill.
Actually, legit got to practice that today because it was like, you know, I could use the propane torch to set this shit on fire and make sure that it works, but I want to try doing it with just the lighter just to make sure that I actually can.
Also, did you use the damn, hold up, it's been a minute. It was like limestones, or what was it called? I forgot what it was, but I know it was like 2 stones you got to hit together, you know.
Flint and steel. No, I didn't have I didn't have my flint and steel on hand at the time. I just had to make do with a lighter and then just whatever I could find on the job site.
Okay, I was completely wrong, chat. It's flint and steel. That was my fault. It's been a couple years since I've done that, but I definitely need to work on that over the winter. Like, I'm literally going to go out into the wilderness and work on just basic survival skills, just basic. Because it's happening over in Europe, do you think that it's not going to happen in the US or Canada, chat? Just saying. You need to know your basics.
Like that's the thing. Like, people, at the very least, you guys need to learn how to make a fire, at the very least with a lighter. But you should be able to go down to your local hardware store or outdoor sports store and get a flint and steel.
Agreed.
Like, and I'd say, like, rather than going out and trying stuff in the wilderness for the first time, like, get some newspaper, put it in your bathroom sink, and see if you can light that with a flint and steel. Because if you can light that with a flint and steel in your bathroom sink, then you can light a fire outdoors with it. And from there, it's just a matter of, do you know how to build a fire that will burn, rather than just putting a whole bunch of damp logs on top of fresh newspaper and hoping for the best.
I agree. The next thing is, do you know how to do any basic hunting? Like,
because, like, I legit know a guy who can't light a fire with, like, he can light it, but he can't get a fire going, and he's actually got fucking gasoline that he's using.
But does he know how to hunt?
Pretty sure he doesn't.
The most basic thing I can do, like, without a weapon, right? Because, you know, I can just use a gun. What if you don't have any bullets? What if you don't even have a weapon? I can at least spearfish. That I know how to do, you know. But when it comes to, you know, going all Native American on, like, elk and deer and moose or whatever it's called, I don't know how to do that.
I was waiting. Like, a mousetrap is going to be a very good friend to you. Let's put it that way.
A mousetrap. Okay. On some Tom and Jerry shit.
I think about it. like if you're in an urban environment and the grocery store closes, what is the most likely readily available source of non-human meat?
Well, mouse or rat or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. Like people are gonna learn to eat fucking rodents. Honestly, like if if the UK starts starving, they may actually deal with their rodent problem.
But I got he says spearfishing in winter. No, I'm saying in the between spring and fall. That's all I'm saying. Winter,
Yeah.
no, of course you can't spearfish.
No, you ice fish in the winter, and that apparently secret to ice fishing that I learned: ground beef.
I'd rather die.
What, than ice fish?
No, eat the bugs. I'm just kidding. I might eat like grasshopper. I think that's the
Yeah, no, okay. No, well, if it's again, like I don't want to eat the bugs. I certainly am not going to eat the bugs if I don't have a choice. But if I need nutrition and there is a bug within arm's reach, I am not going to be picky. I will literally eat the mosquito that's been sucking my blood and be like, no, mine.
Oh no, fuck that. That's too far, bro. I'm not eating no goddamn mosquito. But
I will lick the fucking mosquito corpse off my arm in the middle of fall if I'm that bloody hungry.
Hey, don't get me wrong, Chad. I've eaten bugs before, but yeah, that was by choice. If I had no choice, the farthest I'll go is grasshopper, and hopefully I'll have some type of seasoning. That is a bit.
The seasoning is called hunger.
Oh, get the fuck out of here. Well, you know who John Witherspoon is? If you don't,
I know I've heard of Reese Witherspoon, but no.
Okay, John Witherspoon. I don't know how to explain it. He was a guy from Friday. I'll explain to you later. You know who he is.
Wait, related to like Rebecca Black of Friday thing?
No.
If you say Friday, dude, that's the only Friday I know of.
It's a movie, but he had a cooking show before he passed away. Rest in peace, because he did pass away a couple years ago. He says, when you're hungry, everything tastes good. That's his motto. And I'm like, you know what? I can't dispute that. Like, I'm like, you know what? You're right with a spoon. When you're hungry, pretty much everything will taste good. Like if you're like borderline starving and shit, you will cross a couple boundaries.
That's the thing. Like maybe it won't actually taste good, but it's not gonna taste bad.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, I will, let's say in survival purposes, hopefully I'll be able to find some type of salt. Salt is key. I would love to find some salt. And it's nutritious too, right?
I'm pretty sure if we get to the position that people are eating bugs, there's going to be plenty of salt.
Oh, God. You talk about my attitude? Because that's probably what's coming.
You ain't going to be salty, but there's going to be a lot of salty people asking why the heck their avocado toast isn't around.
We see avocados, bruh. Listen, gentlemen, you need to understand that you need to know the basics of survival. Okay, I preach this often. I'm not the best teacher to teach you about survival, but there's plenty of YouTube videos that will be able to help you out.
If we're in a survival situation and I see you splashing cups of gasoline on a hastily and shittily built fire, I'm tossing you on the fire next.
Bro, I will have to question myself if I'm seeing the amount of stupidity of this person. Just throw a whole bucket of gasoline on it, man.
Yeah, the shit that I fucking have seen within the past week, like literally just pours gasoline in the cup, splashes it on a fire, lights it so it goes boom. Then it's like, congratulations, you got a surface fire on a whole bunch of wood for 30 seconds, and then it's going to all go out, and you wasted absolutely everything because you neglected basic fire construction.
A lot of people are going to die, but
Yes.
Steve Sanchez, he says bugs ain't even out in winter. They can't even tell me. It depends on where you are in the world.
Actually, tip for winter. If now this might be more of a Canadian thing, but if you go somewhat nearby the lakeshore and you start digging, you are going to find hibernating frogs.
Don't got like swarms of mosquitoes.
This is winter.
Canada has swarms of mosquitoes.
Yeah, but they're more of a
Mosquitoes
summer
don't give a
thing.
fuck. Mosquitoes
Mosquitoes care about. Canada has two.
You thought it was gone.
We have
winter, huh?
Yidis, if you're going to know one thing about Canada, know that
I'm fucking around.
we have 2 seasons: winter and bugs, and those are mutually exclusive.
All I know is I've been up there a couple times, and I was definitely terrified. Like I seen a whole swarm of like fucking.
How far north? How far north did you go, Yeet? How far north did you go?
Pretty up north. I went with my friend. The friend is one that had a family that had a cabin. Like,
okay, are we talking like Northern Ontario or Northwest Territories north?
Northwest, because I was on the northwest.
Okay, if you.
Oh, what's up?
Okay, yeah. If you went to now, like, I'm talking like, did you basically get to the level of the Yukon?
I assume so. Like, I didn't really pay. If I had a map, I'll show you. But I seen a black swarm. Like,
okay, yeah, like, okay, if you got far enough that you were basically looking at the southern border of the Yukon, okay, yeah, it's likely that you saw the massive swamp that is northern Canada in the summer, and yes, that was a swarm of mosquitoes. And
I was
yes,
terrified.
If you went outside, your skin would turn black because it would be covered with them drinking your blood.
I was terrified. Like, luckily, like, how do I explain it? Don't get me wrong. Like, I got bit up pretty good, but I never had to deal with that situation up close where it's like a whole, like, block out the sun amount of mosquitoes. Like, I probably would have yeet myself with a fucking Magnum. Like, it.
Yeah. That's why you don't ever want to crash a plane in the Northwest Territories. Like, it's a massive swamp full of mosquitoes.
Hey, but the food was good with the campfire and all that. I had a good time. Don't get me wrong, Chad. I had a good time. It's just that when we were driving by and I saw like a big old black patch just flying around near a lake or a swamp or something like that.
It'd be a swamp up there. Well, there's a bunch of lakes, but it's all like just water and lake and swamp.
I was like, what the fuck is that? And then my homeboy's dad is like, hey, you know, that's a bunch of mosquitoes. I was like, what the fuck? Like, Canada's scary, man. Canada is a cousin of Australia.
That's the thing. We're basically just cold Australia.
Yeah, if ain't the mosquitoes, there's fucking the moose. Gentlemen, if you never have to meet moose in person, mooses are huge.
Like, it was right. If you run into the moose with a car, the moose is walking away. Your car is not.
You're probably going to have head injuries.
Oh, like you might just be sent home in a body bag at that point because the moose fell on you. you hitting a moose with a car is just sweeping the leg.
And there's people agreeing. Yeah, mooses are fucking. I'm like, what? Like, you see it on TV at first, right? Like, okay, oh look at the moose, oh look at all good stuff. But when you meet them in person, it's unreal. Like, I can't even describe it to you that well. You have to go visit it yourself.
Yeah, actually, I'm gonna look something up real quick. See,
Ron. Okay. Honestly,
okay,
because I've
here,
been down there.
let me put it in a simple term. A moose is comparable in size to an elephant.
It
Is.
they're a little bit shorter, but yeah, I agree.
Yeah, that's the thing. They're not equivalent, but they're comparable.
Yeah, I agree with that. They're fucking gigantic. And there's people that hunt moose, literally like eat moose. Like those are savages. What's up?
Legit. No, like my friend went on a hunting trip last year, and on the way back, he stopped by. He literally had a moose like gutted in the back of his truck.
I heard like the moose's guts alone is just like over 100 pounds. Like,
oh yeah, that's why you cannot. That's why you have to like dress it on the spot, like drain the blood and take the guts out in the woods. You are not hauling that thing back to camp otherwise.
you have a question. Right there, Alec.
Moose versus buffalo. Pretty sure.
Fight?
Maybe size comparison. Let's see.
Oh.
Moose to bison. Like they're bigger. Well, like maybe not mass size, but they're definitely taller.
Mooses will definitely kill you a lot quicker than bison.
Yeah.
Mooses don't fuck around. I never dealt with it personally, but I've seen videos. They're aggressive.
A moose will, okay, let me put it this way. A moose will mess with a grizzly bear, okay?
I'm definitely not surprised when it comes to that one. I was near a moose, but I never had to deal with the moose's aggressiveness.
And the other thing, a moose, they have long legs because they can run through water. Like water that you cannot walk in, cannot run in, you need to swim in, they can chase you on foot. Can you swim faster than you can run?
I've actually seen a video of a moose running on water. I've actually seen that one, and that is completely terrifying if I'm in the water. You
that's the thing. That's the moose. Like water is their element. If you run into a moose in water, like the only thing that I think would stand a chance against a moose in water might be a bunch of crocodiles.
Agreed. That's the only way. But if you yourself is in the water,
like if you are a land-dwelling animal in the water, the moose is going to kick your ass. Like it's going to chase you down and kick your, because that's the thing. Like they're not just big, they're not just strong, they're aggressive. Like they are not the timid, like, oh, I see something unknown, I better keep my distance and walk away. It's more so, you dare, and then they beat the shit out of you.
They call me Jesus incarnate, bitch, and it's just start running on water, like what the fuck?
The real reason Jesus ran on water was because he saw me.
He learned from me. I am the master. But that goblin guy, he says moose versus average size western. That's a tough call. That's a tough call, bro.
Well, okay, definitely not the average size. Although, Brandon Truebut, a moose, like a hippo would fuck a moose up. In water. In water.
But on land, I don't think a hippo will have the reaction time to deal with a moose. I don't think.
Yeah,
I don't think the hippo will be able to handle it.
I'll give it to the hippo in water, because they are far better suited to 3-dimensional combat.
Agreed.
Whereas the moose, like,
water.
no, more so that because
Or-
they have the jaws, like they just need to get one good bite on the moose, and it is absolutely fucked.
Right. I'm saying
However,
that,
on land though, hands down, it goes to the moose. Hands
well,
down.
what I'm saying is with the hippo, I didn't mean to say breathe underwater, but they can survive underwater for a good amount of time. So they can easily just be like, give me a leg and drag the moose under.
Well, yes, and like the moose's weapon is like in the water. It's like its antlers, and those are positioned in the exact opposite direction to deal with a hippo.
But on land, the hippo is fucked.
Yeah. Yeah. On land, like the hippo's mouth is down pointed at the ground. Its ability to deal with a moose is restricted, and its speed is absolute garbage. Like its legs are not long enough to deal with a moose on land.
Unless the hippo's an idiot, the hippo's not going to survive. Or is going to be gravely injured.
Well, the hippo does have
wait,
defense
wait.
against hippo-grade teeth, so it can it definitely has the better. The hippo has the better defense.
Do you agree with what Herman says?
Hippo beat moose every time. Hippos beat moose even on land. I can see where they're coming from. I do, but like, because thinking about it, yeah, the hippo does have superior defense to actually deal with the moose's stampede, and then again, one decent bite. If the moose loses its footing, it's dead.
I completely agree, but do have a question. Everybody in the chat right now, put a 1 if you are ready. If shit hits the fan in your area, put a 1 in the chat if you are ready. If shit hits the fan in your area, because I'm ready.
I mean, I
Yeah.
could do something, but I definitely I ain't got a bug out bag.
I got everything locked and loaded.
Oh yeah, that's the other thing. Canada has made it far more difficult now to acquire, let's say, force multipliers for the sake of the algorithm.
Oh shit, Manic. I didn't see you here. What's going on, man? Here, hold up. Let me here. The chat has to load because I'm on StreamYard. Give me a second. You are a mod. Manic, you're a mod. But I do got the food and all that stuff, but also I definitely got the clips just in case. You know I have to choose my targets wisely, just like I don't know I'm going to encounter. But you have to be prepared. Like right now, if tomorrow, like Sleepy Joe's like, okay, let's go ahead and shoot out nukes, and then shit goes nuts, and somehow we survive. You guys need to get the basic things out the way. That's the only thing that I'm trying to say. Like I'm sure that's what Gray's trying to say as well. You gotta get the basics out the way, because once you don't have the internet, once you don't have your smartphones, air conditioners, all that shit. Once all the first world benefits disappear, you only have your hands at the end of the day to keep you alive. Well, what do you have to say about that, Gray?
I'm just thinking about if that happens, there's a whole bunch of buildings in Toronto that have god-awful insulation.
What do you wait? What do you mean by that? When shit hits the fan, or just in general?
Like, that's the thing. If people are put into that kind of survival mode, like, it's winter. It's one thing if that stuff happens in the summer, but if that stuff happens in winter, like, people are going to freeze to death before they starve to death.
Well, I wouldn't mind if Putin does that shit. Not gonna lie. Like I see him doing that because once again, it worked for Russia before, but with the weather and shit. That's the only reason they were able to hold back the bad man with the mustache.
Yeah, no, it's you don't want to get stuck. You don't want to get stuck in Russia, but I don't know. Like,
What I'm saying,
I think
is,
it's going to be interesting seeing how the current conflict goes down.
I agree.
Because like winter is going to definitely be a factor, and Russia definitely has a lot more energy than Europe.
I completely agree with that, 100%. And what I'm trying to say is, everybody that's listening right now, you need to heed my warning. You need to know just the basics. I ain't talking about become what's his name? Bears Grills?
Well,
That's
power's
what I'm
out. Better start drinking my own piss.
right. That's not what I'm saying. You guys need to know just the bare minimum to survive this nonsense. Because
Can you make fire? Can you make shelter? Can you get yourself some food? Can you make yourself clean water?
That's pretty much it. Can you repeat yourself, Gray?
Can you make some fire? Can you make some shelter? Can you get yourself some food? Can you get yourself some clean water?
That's the four basics that I believe you as a person should know if things get crazy. Yes, I know you got to worry about clothes. Yeah, you got to worry about whether you're stinky or not, or blah, blah, blah. But those four things that Gray mentioned, those are the four things that's going to keep you alive. Everything else doesn't matter. Do you agree, Gray?
So far as are you going to survive longer than like a week afterwards? Yeah. Like you're going to need fire because you need temperature control. You're going to need shelter for the same reasons, but also environment control. And you do not want to sleep outside in the rain without shelter. Fire
Agreed.
or not.
Agreed.
And then you need to be able to get yourself food. You can last a while on basic body store, but you're not going to make it longer than 3 weeks. And if you can't make yourself clean water, then after your first drink of your local septic tank, you are going to be expelling more water than you will intake, and then you realize you had. And you're just going to accelerate your death time from 3 days to 1 day.
Grey Ghost, can you continue? I got a story on that when I come back. It came from Kevin Samuel's channel. I'm pretty sure you heard the story before.
Yes, that story. I love that story.
Can you explain the story to them?
So Kevin Samuels asks a woman, what's she going to do for water when the water stops running? And she goes, well, I'll just go down to the ocean and get some water. He's like, okay, well, what are you going to do to make it drinkable? And she's like, boil it. And he goes, okay, well, what do you have to... what exactly are you going to do to boil it? He's like, oh, just boil it. Just put it on the stove. He's like, okay, let's assume you have a gas stove, so you have like actual heat here. So you just going to put a pot of ocean water, salt water, on the stove, and you're going to boil it, and then you're going to drink it. Yeah.
Okay, I'm back.
Okay. You're going to die immediately because you just drank concentrated salt water.
I was laughing my ass off when I heard that. I was laughing my ass off, bro. I was like, what the fuck is this?
Like, you can see him in the video ask her about how she's going to catch the moisture, and then you realize, wait, she might not even know about that. I shouldn't give her that. I gotta see if her plan just extends to boil salt water, then drink it.
But you don't know anything about condensation, don't you?
Now that's the thing. Her plan was literally just get some ocean water, make it hot, and then drink it. And that was going to make it drinkable.
But hey, Grey Ghost, remember, they're strong, independent, and don't need a man.
Yeah. They strong, independent, don't need no man.
I'm sorry.
But what's I gotta ask, like, ladies, what don't you need a man for?
They don't know.
Because apparently you can't even get yourself a glass of water without a man somewhere in the chain. You can't even get yourself clean drinking water. Now, maybe if they have a well nearby that they can pump, maybe. Or, if they're nearby fresh, like I say, if you took it from a fresh water source and then you boiled it for like 20 minutes, okay. But this lady literally was talking about going to the ocean to get salt water.
Literally. And 98% of everything that's grown when it comes to food, men. Literally 99% of all drinkable water is because of men. like see, this is why I always say that I don't take feminism seriously, gentlemen. I really don't. I never will. Because what do we teach you? Or what did you learn? Because I don't think I teach. You probably watch somebody else, but never listen to what the fuck they have to say. Watch their actions. There's a reason for that, gentlemen. Okay? Because you honestly think you ever met a woman that actually meant what she said and said what she meant? Please tell me. Because it's only a select few. I can count on one hand on the amount of women that actually meant what they said.
Like, I forget exactly who said it. It might have been Nietzsche.
What do you mean by that?
I forget exactly whose quote this from. It might have been Friedrich Nietzsche, but he was like, when he was lied to by a friend, he began to cry. And he said, "I'm not crying because you lied to me. I'm crying because now I can no longer believe what you say." Because that's the thing. When you catch someone lying to you, you can never trust them again.
I agree. At least not completely trust them again.
Like, that's the thing. Like, there's always, like, as soon as someone has lied to you once, everything they say to you from that moment on, and everything that they've told you in the past, is now under suspicion. You can never just believe them again.
But here's a fun fact for you guys in the chat. Never, ever trust anybody 100%. Ever. I'm not saying that don't trust them at all. Just don't trust them 100%. That's my advice to you guys.
But then let me ask you this.
What's up?
Have you ever met a woman who never told you a lie?
No. Even my own mother, even any female family members, even females that I've been in my personal life, all of them at least told a lie, whether it's small or big.
So using that principle, you can never trust what a woman says. Because I think that you could comb all of Earth, and the only woman you would find that has never lied is unable to speak.
Can you repeat that?
I think you could comb the entire Earth, and find that the only women who have never lied are unable to speak.
I hope you are soaking that in, gentlemen, in the chat, because that is very fucking wise words that Grey Ghost just said right now. Holy shit. Holy shit. And once again, gentlemen, I'm not saying become paranoid and completely distrust everybody that you walk in your path, but like what Ibra Herman said, never fully 100% trust anybody. Never. And what I mean by that is, in the better terms, don't, how do I explain it? Don't set your expectations so high that you're like completely distraught and disappointed. If that makes sense. Don't get to the point where you put this person on such a pedestal, on such a pedigree, to where this person can't do no wrong. Because once that person eventually does wrong, whether it's small or big, your entire world gets fucking destroyed. I'm just saying, gentlemen, you know, you can go for the whole factor. I don't anymore. You can go for the whole factor that, you know, maybe this person is different. Maybe this person is a unicorn. Maybe the person, as long as you have in the back of your head that, hey, there's a chance that this person can let me down, you won't be disappointed. And life will be a lot easier.
Think. When you think you found a unicorn, you've got to remember that real life unicorns were just a very poor description of a rhinoceros. Like, you there? Like, damn, say a thing and then everyone goes quiet and I'm like, shit. Did we glitch out? Did you not hear me? Did I just catch him in a bad moment? But that's the thing. Like, from what I've been able to find, that original unicorns, like, oh, it's a white horse with one horn in the middle of its forehead. Like, uh-huh. Okay, well, I'll draw what you described. Like, close enough. Like, no, you see, you described a horse. Then you took me to see this unicorn that you saw, this horse with one horn. And that's like 1,000 pounds heavier and with no hair. I guess you just stepped away or something, but...
What the fuck? I keep putting my shit on mute. My bad. I completely agree with what you said, man. I definitely see what you're saying. But Chronically, he has something to say. He says, it's brutal when that happens because you realize that even your ability to judge people is not reliable. Yeah. You shouldn't. Okay. Not you shouldn't. You can't help have a bias on somebody. You just can't help it. That's human nature. That's why.
No, but you.
Oh, what's up?
Like, I get it though, because you do hit a point where you're like, wow. I thought I was a decent judge of character, and I was completely fucking fooled. Here's the thing: like, when you think you find a, like, this is the thing with unicorns. When you think you find a unicorn, and then later on you find that it's just another rhinoceros, you're like, hot damn. I wouldn't even know a unicorn if I ran into one. And then you're like, look, lady, for all I know, you are, like, future on, like, you could be like, lady, you might actually be a unicorn. I have long since learned that I cannot tell the difference. So I'm not taking that chance again.
I've met a couple unicorns, but they were already married. But I was so jealous of that person being married to this unicorn because once again, I know personally they're still married to this day. I don't know what's going to happen in the future, but for the last 8-9 years, she is the epitome of what all men want. And I'm telling you right now, gentlemen, I will not bullshit you right now. I will not. This woman was dressed very conservative. She was very feminine, very respectful. She was catering to her husband's every needs, and the husband, once again, in return, make sure that she was good as well. Right? It's not like a one-sided deal. But me being born in this generation, I was highly jealous, or should I say jealous or envious? I don't know, but I was like, yo, do you have any idea the type of women I have to deal with on a daily basis? And he doesn't. And I'm glad that he doesn't. I'm really glad that he doesn't, because he literally hit the jackpot. In my opinion, he hit the jackpot because right now they're still going strong and they have 6 kids. Six. I guarantee you they're not done either. So at the end of the day, gentlemen, yes, there are unicorns out there, but how many are truly out there that's available to you? That's the question you have to ask, because probability for a man is important.
I mean, statistically, there is buried treasure somewhere on the planet. That doesn't mean that you're going to find it even if you dig up everywhere within a 50-mile radius.
So what Chronically said is brutal when that happens, because you realize that even your ability to judge people is not reliable. You can never 100% know what a person truly is, but it's very easy. See, I'm a very observant person. I'm sure you can say the same, right, Gray?
Decently so.
I'm not the person to just talk, right? Like if I'm in a certain setting, I observe the room, I observe the environment, I observe the people. And that's crucial. But it's not 100%, right? Because I could be completely wrong about what a person is. But I will say 7 times out of 10, I'm correct. Because choices, right? What they do, the body, their actions tells me who they truly are. 7 times out of 10. What do you have to say about that, Gray?
Yeah, to more reliably get a feel for someone, you really have to see how they react in stressful situations. And then you also have to know their limits. Like, there can be someone who can handle a crisis fairly well in one circumstance, and then just be completely useless and unreliable in other ones.
So similar to what the Joker said in The Dark Knight, Heath Ledger, rest in peace. You will truly, okay, this doesn't exactly pertain to what you're trying to say, but it's similar. You will truly know how somebody is in the last few moments of their life. But it's similar to what you're saying is once, the pressure is put on them, once they, they have nothing else to rely on based on intuition and instinct, they will show the true colors.
Yeah, well, to a certain extent, that does speak more to people generally as a group. Like, if you're trying to figure out an individual, because people as a group, yeah, we're animals. Like, we do all sorts of insane, crazy shit, especially when everyone's doing it at the same time. But if you want to get the measure of an individual separate from the group, you either have to put them under an extended period of stress, usually working with someone is a good way to do that. Like if you're working on a project together and then shit starts going wrong, that
I know
works for a
personally
fair
since
bit.
I did 6 years in military.
Precisely. Military would be another good way because people understand. The other thing to do would be give them power and then look at how they treat those underneath them.
That as well. Bro. I 1,000,000% fucking agree with that shit. Because once I became E5 sergeant, people thought that, oh, he went to the dark side, he's gonna treat us like shit, blah blah blah. No. As long as you did the basic shit as come to formation on time, as long as you're past your PT test, as long as we're doing the tasks that we're supposed to do for the day, you're good. So I see what you're saying.
Like, yeah, fastest way to get a measure for somebody would, like, if you needed to figure out somebody and their basic nature in under an hour, play a game with them and lose.
Chess, or
yeah, chess is a great way, but that's the thing. Like, see how they handle a victory over you.
Call of Duty. That's the easy one. Yeah. I'll say Call of Duty. That's
chess. Call of Duty. Like whatever you can. Play a game with them and lose.
I agree because I definitely I'm not the one to go fucking us like, oh my god, yeah, I win, yeah, you suck. I definitely take victories and defeats. Sorry, I lied. I take victories pretty humble, but defeats I get pretty pissed off. Not gonna lie.
Not like
I'm competitive.
There was one guy, like I played chess with him, and it might sound weird, but when he checkmated me the first time, he put his piece into the checkmate possession and then immediately reached out and offered to shake a hand, like, good game. It was like, I didn't even realize what the hell happened there, and you're already celebrating your victory with a conciliatory good game.
Oh, wow.
That rubbed my ass the wrong fucking way right there.
Same here. I would have been mad. I would have been. Whoo. Okay. Like, I know he won. I know. But, the way that he went about it, I would have been pissed off.
Yeah.
Like,
but that's the thing. But you get the measure of a person when you lose them, and you see, something as subtle as that. So
I see what you're saying. Where there are definitely on heavily, very heavy pressure on where how to explain it. They don't have time to put up a front. They don't have time to, put on an act, right? They pretty much have to be who they are.
Well, the other thing is that stress drains willpower, and willpower is required to put up a face. But willpower is a finite resource. You drain that resource via extended stress, then their coping mechanisms to deal with stress will start to show, and that's more of their true self.
I agree because, once again, especially if you're in the combat zone as a military personnel, you have no choice but to put up a front or you die. So, but at the same time, there is a good amount of people that don't understand that, and they show their cowardice, like, oh, I don't want to shoot back against the enemy. Oh my god, let me just go ahead and hide in this dune right here. Let me avoid the fire. And it's worse when that person that's avoiding contact is your superior. It's yeah.
Yeah, no, if someone at your level fucking up like that is one thing, but when it's the person that you're supposed to be taking a lead from that is fucking up on that level.
Well, that's why a lot of people are very like kind of irritated with the certain situation with our chain of command because they're confused about their own identity. That's the best way I can say it.
Yeah, it's like how can I trust you to tell me what is the most likely action to lead to my victory when you can't even tell what your genitals are supposed to be?
Damn, okay. You're just gonna put it out there like that? All right. Oh shit. But Dr. Fourth Wall, he says, in their last moments, people show who they really. I agree. I completely fucking agree. There's plenty of people who are afraid of death, and there's other people that just don't give a fuck. Or there's people that are just chill about it. They're just chill about dying. You know? It's a weird thing, but you will know immediately who's a real one or not, right? And what I mean by real death experience, let's say that if you got into a firefight with somebody and then your homeboy is like fucking crying his eyes out and he has snot running down his nose and hiding behind the car like, oh, we're gonna die, oh my god, blah blah. You're gonna be looking at him like, damn, you a bitch.
Now, very key difference. Key difference, though.
What's up?
Crying and snot running down their nose. The different, like, that actually is not the important part.
What's up?
The important part is whether or not they're still fighting. Like, if someone is crying, tears running down their face, snot running down their nose, but they're still holding position and returning fire, respect.
Well, did I say crouching behind the car? I thought.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. That's the thing. It's the crouching behind the car. It doesn't matter whether they're crying and snot running or whatever. That's not the important part. It's them crouching behind the car. They could be entirely stoically, silently crouching behind the car, and it's just as bad.
Bro, like, I agree. I'm gonna keep it real. That's why a lot of you guys need to choose. You literally need to choose who your friends are or not, because if shit hits the fan, whether it's minuscule or catastrophic, you need to surround yourself with people that know how to hold their own and know how to watch your back. And I know it's not 100% foolproof or 100% guaranteed, but you definitely need to choose your circle wisely, especially right now with our current day and age of what's going on.
Yeah, like, you gotta engage in conversation with people and evaluate them and be like, is this someone who is going to be helpful to me in a shitty situation or a liability?
Well, because I had somebody ask me last year, would you have somebody that's like stupid as hell, but he's very loyal to you? Yeah, I would. In a heartbeat. I would have somebody that's stupid as hell, but that's willing to watch my back. Fuck yeah. What did I say about that, Gray?
I'd go with the, it depends how the stupidity manifests. Like, if they, like I said, if they need to be kind of told what to do, like maybe kind of your stereotypical sort of goon person where they're not a particularly sharp or bright and they can't understand complexities or nuance, but they'll absolutely take care of anything you ask them to. Yeah, that's useful. If it's the kind of person who is like codependently attached to you, but they're constantly dragging you down and they're far more likely to fuck up and cause you more trouble, nah, I'm cutting them loose.
No. The description was I was like a staff sergeant or something, and then the person that was dumb but can, still like have my back was a private. Because you gotta understand, privates are dumb.
Yeah, but there's the difference between the private who's dumb and like needs to be given explicit instructions on what to do. And the private who, when handing you a grenade, pulls the pin out by accident.
No. No, what I'm saying is, and I'm sure Brand True Blood can agree, it's just the one that, you know, they pretty much cannot operate without your direction, that type of shit.
Yeah, no, that's the thing. That's useful. Like if you can't take initiative, but you're gonna follow my lead, yeah, cool, good for that. But it's the kind of person who is a klutz and a liability. Like I differentiate between the two because, again, not military, so the context is lost on me.
I agree, and I'm saying, like, when it comes to that type of situation, it's like being a big brother, but your little brother is, how do I say? Your little brother's like a rebel or whatever, and just don't give a damn, and he just does whatever. But if you tell him what to do, he's able to do it. Type. That's the best way I can describe it. You know, your little brother is a fucking fuck up, but if you tell him to do something, he'd be able to do it.
Yeah, it's like so long as he'll sit down, shut up, and do what he's told when push comes to shove. Yeah. But if he's the type of guy to get some clever idea and have you seen Blackadder at all?
No, is that anime?
No, it's an old British comedy series. The final season takes place during World War One.
Don't spoil it. Is it good? Do I have to watch it, or it's not worth it?
Oh, I'd highly recommend watching it. Like
It's called Black. What?
Blackadder. Black Adder. If you know Mr. Bean, it revolves around Mr. Bean.
The fuck he did this? I'm looking it up right now. 1983. What? I never knew I never knew he did this. Like,
yeah, but that case would also blow your mind. Another actor is Hugh Laurie, who you probably know far more as Dr. House.
What?
Yeah. This is their early work. This was their golden age.
Is he in here?
Yeah. He's one of the main cast. Especially season 4 is when it's World War One.
I got Hulu too. Let's go.
Yeah,
Let's
no,
go.
highly recommend Blackadder. So yeah, I ain't gonna spoil anymore, but great premise for a show, great show, and the ending is amazing. So highly recommended.
What was that one war show with Doctor Strange? I gotta look it up.
Also, Sherlock Holmes, Sherlock Holmes' brother.
Like Robert Downey Jr. or
Yeah, Robert Downey Jr. Sherlock Holmes. You know his brother?
no?
Didn't you see the second one?
I honestly, I don't think so. I don't think I have.
Oh well,
I've probably seen clips, but I don't think I see the movie.
Yeah, well, yes. Well, Stephen, that's the guy's name is Stephen Fry, and he's also very prominently in this.
All right, let me see.
Yeah, like seriously, it's basically a who's who of great British actors in their early days. It's wonderful.
Bro, it's gonna be fucking immaculate. I'm gonna be watching this shit.
Yeah.
Oh, is it? I'm pretty sure that's the one with Doctor Strange in it. I forgot what the actor's name was. I think it was 1917. I think that's what it was. But do you want to do one more article, or do you want to save that for next time?
We've had a good run. Honestly, I'm good for saving it for next time. Like we're at the 2.5 hour mark. I'm getting close to 2.5 hours.
Because once again, unfortunately, Hammerhand was not able to make it, but he definitely will be making it on the next one because he says he's still on the road. So, do you have any final words? I'll be right back.
Okay, final words on
Free
speech.
Yep.
Yeah. At the end of the day, there's always going to be consequences for saying anything. But these days, the truth is very damaging to very powerful people. And so it is pushed against at all corners. And to be entirely truthful in this day and age is far more likely to get you enemies than friends. It's a very unfortunate state of affairs, and I'm pretty sure everyone's aware of it. So, even if you don't have the freedom to speak what you want to anyone else, do speak it to yourself. Quietly, if you must, but out loud. Talk with yourself, because that is the one person who you should always be honest with, no matter what. And that's a person whose judgment you should not fear.
I completely agree with that one, Gray. And with the cherry on top, gentlemen, of course, when it comes to the United States, everybody has a freedom of speech, but you're not free from the consequences. So the fact that me and the Great Ghost, but mainly me, is speaking on some controversial shit like this, there's some potential consequences that we have to deal with. But I'm willing to accept that, because like what Martin Luther King said, the people that just sit around and do nothing is no better than the ones that are acting in evil. The one that's actually doing the evil shit, you're no different than them if you just sit around and do nothing. You're not. And I completely agree with Martin Luther King says. Because you see what's going on in our society today. It is only going to get worse. It's going to get worse. It's already been getting worse. You guys are going to see it on various videos on this channel and my main channel as well. You need to understand that, yes, of course, there's opposition that you're not allowed to criticize. There's opposition that you're not allowed to talk shit about. But are you willing to take the risk? Are you willing to take the sacrifice? Are you willing to stand up for what's right? Even if it's at the cost of any type of repercussions in the future? I say yeah. Personally, I say yes. Because if that's the case, I would not be making videos, and I would not be making videos. You need to be able to understand that the evil that's out here in today's society, and the evil that is looming around children, especially in the public schooling, and the evil that's around the media and brainwashing kids and people alike to be in disarray, being weak, frail, emotional, effeminate, etc. That is your choice to speak on that. That is your choice to be silent, or that is your choice to partake in it. Think on that, gentlemen. Think on that. You good, Grey Ghost?
I'm good.
It is your boy, Sir Yeetus and the Grey Ghost. Unfortunately, Hammerhand, once again, he was not able to join, but I will guarantee that he'll be able to join in the future. We will be doing another stream on my main channel tomorrow, if Gray is available. And hopefully you enjoy the gems that we dropped on you today. Even though it was a lot of, ramblings, I still believe it was a good amount of knowledge that you guys are able to learn from. But we are out. Peace.
Peace out, everyone.